Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akim, your brother Ra'azah Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and blessings unto the hopeful and sincere elect. It's a quick one in regards to the failed assassination attempt on Putin that happened yesterday, March 3rd, May the 3rd, Salakia, 2023. Hopeful year of all the prophecies of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai coming to pass. And it's basically a failed attempt by NATO through Ukraine. It's the Kremlin drone attack. It says Russia accuses Ukraine of trying to assassinate Putin, and the guy Zelensky's jumped ships. Supposedly he's has run to Finland for sanctuary because basically Medvedev, if I'm saying his name properly, from Russia, and a lot of other people in Russia are basically trying to say that they should take Zelensky's out on Zelensky's on their kill list basically right now, and they're looking to kill him for this failed assassination. But he's saying he had nothing to do with it. Well, we all know that these devils speak with a forked tongue. But either way, it was NATO through Ukraine that tried to take his ass, take out Putin, but it was a failed attempt. So all this is going to do is stir up the Medes, like I'm going to read in a second, and Russia is going to retaliate because for the longest, Putin's been moving very subtle, should I say, very cunningly, and he hasn't retaliated yet on a major scale. But now this is giving him credence because now his life's in, fear of death. Being threatened to the highest level, by these drone strikes. Trying to assassinate him and all that. The King of the North. Now he's going to be stirred up even more, and he's definitely going to retaliate for these failed attempts. Plus, of course, they blew up the gas pipelines and all that last year, and the Kremlin situation, blowing up the bridge and all of that. So this is adding up to more and more reasons why he's going to retaliate in such a harsh manner, and he's going to retaliate against who? The West, because right now it's the BRIC nations, which makes up the Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, and China, and against the West, against NATO, against the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and even right as we speak, they've got many members that's trying to join the BRIC nations right now. So this is doing is stirring up the Medes and their allies to retaliate against against the West, which encompasses NATO and the EU and namely America. After this another failed attempt. So this is coming down to the wire. So I just want to read one or two scriptures and close out and make this too long. This is Isaiah 13, and let's go straight to the point. And it says the head title says Babylon will fall to the Medes, and the Medes represents Russia today, right? It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Against who? America. Against the West. Against NATO, the EU, treaty organizations. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. It says, their bows shall dash their young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity upon the fruit of their womb, and I shall not spare children. And that's talking about the ICBM missiles. So now they're giving credence for Putin to retaliate, and he's going to definitely retaliate in a harsh manner. In the next coming months, who knows what's going to happen, but we're definitely in the time of some major payback from the Medes, aka Russia, the King of the North, Putin. It says, in Babylon and the kingdom and the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, which is America, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So yeah, America's going to get the full brunt of that retaliation when it happens by way of nuclear war, and the Medes, aka Russia, is going to be a main catalyst into the downfall of America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. And then, the next precept talks about how it's never going to be inhabited and all that. So America's going to be destroyed, man. And this is, as I said, this is the stirring up of the Medes. Why? Because, NATO's failed attempt to, attack Putin through Zelensky, and that guy's jumped ship. He's currently ran to Finland for help, for sanctuary, so to speak, to escape judgment. And he's trying to say that he had no hand in the attack against Putin. But either way, this is Satan v Satan, if Satan be against Satan, how should these kingdoms stand? So they're gonna get all these leaders, these false leaders like Zelensky out of the way anyway, and they're all gonna die in the nuclear war, whether it's now or later. Zelensky's definitely on the hit list. Just like they tried to take out Putin. So we're coming down to the wire. So it's definitely coming down to the wire, man. So we're just going to keep our eyes posted on what Putin's going to do next in terms of retaliation. But things are getting more and more heated. So expect more drama, more contentions, more wars and rumors of wars. This is Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and the rivers as the rivers of water. He turneth it wheresoever he will. So the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, man. So Putin's mindset has been stirred up by the Medes, it's been stirred up as the Medes by Yahweh Bar Hashem Yahweh Shai, because the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he mustereth the host of the battle. So at the end of the day, everything that Putin's going to do from here on out has been ordained by Yahweh Bar Hashem Yahweh Shai, like it says in this top heading on life and conduct. So the Lord's going to stir up the Medes most definitely after this failed assassination attempt on your man Putin. The last precept I'm going to read is Ezekiel 38, and I'll just start from verse 3 just for the sake of time. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief priest of Meshech and Tubal. Yeah, when you go into that word Russia, Ra'ash Shah, Salakia, when you break it down, it means chief prince. The chief prince of Meshech and Tubal is who? Russia. The king of the Medes, man, which is Russia today. Putin. So the chief prince represents Ra'ash Shah, which means chief prince in the Hebrew, is Russia's getting ready to basically go to nuclear war with America against the West. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Yeah. So the Lord's going to put, a cold Soviet Union war type mindset, which he already has in Putin, but he's going to stir up even more, where he's going to start retaliating and moving them chess pieces, man, to the point where he's going to have America in checkmate very soon. And it says, I will bring thee forth and all thine army. Yes, so that's all the BRIC nations, all their allies, including China, and all the different allies that are backing, Iran and backing Russia to go to war against the West, against NATO and the EU. It says, and I will, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Yeah. So it's going to be a great army coming from the east, fighting against the west. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them, with shield and helmet. Persia represents the Iranians today, the Carmanians and all of that, to the Elamites, so-called Indians today. So they're going to be heavily involved in this nuclear war over there in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia area, and Russia's going to have a heavy hand in that. So Gomer and all his bands in the house of Tolgomar of the North Country quarters, and it says, and all his bands and many people with them, with thee. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. And says, and thou be a god, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia's a major catalyst in this nuclear war, as I said, and that's going to be the main reasons of the downfall of America, because of what this failed attempt against Putin is going to stir his ass up even more. And they're saying, in the news, that is Ukraine, and we all know Ukraine is being, seduced or being maneuvered through NATO. That's a catalyst for NATO to try and, encroach against Putin and Russia. So this is definitely gonna stir up, man. So we gotta keep our eyes on this news, man, on the wars and rumors of wars, and see what Putin does next. But it's definitely gonna be a headbanger, man. And we can't wait, because we're waiting for America to be destroyed by way of this thermonuclear destruction, man. World War III. So, heads up, man. So anyway, give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachakadash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.